Ahoy! Welcome again to the Zlin Film Festival Bubble. It was Diana Ross who once said, "I want bubbles." And so, Diana, here's to you. This is what we offer you. In today's festival bubble, we have Elina Patrakka, who came here all the way from Finland with a great film called Roy. And I think, Elina, it's up to you to tell us what this film was about.
So it's basically about a girl who finds a dog on a train track, and then afterwards they become very, very good friends. And then the dad of this girl doesn't want this dog, obviously, because she just found it on a train track, and the girl wants to keep the dog, obviously, and also tells about a crime that then the dog and the girl finds friends actually as well.
Because that's what I wanted to mention. It's not only about the dog and the girl becoming friends, but also at the moment she even says, "You're my only friend," because she's new in town, and the kids around her are not exactly very friendly. They're actually super cruel to her.
Yeah, because the girl who I'm acting comes from
What's her name?
In Finnish it's Valo, at least, and she comes from Helsinki, and then she goes to a very, very small town, and then she doesn't have any friends and comes to a new school.
What I really liked about this character is when the first time that she meets the dog, she sets him free because he got stuck on a trail track, and then she gives the option to the dog. She says, "You can choose to follow me, or you can choose to run out in the woods and be free." And that's, I think, a typical thing for Vala. That's how I pronounce her name?
Valo.
Valo.
Yeah.
So tell a little bit more about who is this girl. I thought that was a really nice thing to do of her, to give the choice to the dog. But is it typical for Valo? What kind of girl is she?
She's very suspicious as well, and if she wants to do something, she will do it, and she loves to wants to be like a detective, and also is very independent because and she doesn't have a lot of friends.
Of course, I have no other option than asking you about it. How was the connection between you and the dog?
First of all, it was very difficult because there was this this man who was with the dog at first, and it was the owner, and it was very, very hard. We had a lot of practicing and rehearsals before we started filming, but at the end it went very well. And
are you a dog person?
I love all animals. I love dogs.
Because the way you fit together on screen is so beautiful. It's like you were born for each other. And it's also how the camera frames you. But this big dog, a German Shepherd, you just told me. And then this, not little girl, but fragile girl sitting next to it. It's such a beautiful picture. So it felt good to be on set all the time with your hairy friend.
It was amazing, and it was a new experience because I've never acted with any animal usually, and it was very different from acting with a person, but it was very interesting and very fun.
But you have been acting before?
Yeah.
But never with animals?
No. Maybe I've had a dog, but I've never yeah.
Another important character in the film is your dad, who's not a very stable figure. I mean, he's a little bit lost in life when we meet him. How is the relationship between Valo and her father?
They still have a good connection, but obviously the girl, it's a bit weird that the girl finds just a dog on a train track, but the connection with the dad and the because the girl is a teenager, obviously, and then they have fights because she's a teenager and is growing up.
Yeah, but also the father is still growing up a bit, I think, because he's a little bit lost after a divorce.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that all the kids in the film have not so easy relationships with their parents. Like there's this little neighbor boy, Petrus.
Yeah.
His mom is taking care of him all alone. Then Valo often helps her. There's kids in the class in her class who also have problematic relationships with their sometimes crazy parents, like the artist. Is it a typical thing that all kids in the movie have a problematic relationship with their parents?
Actually, I've never thought about that, but I can see it now that there is like some problems with families, but maybe it shows that like even though you have problems, this life can still be like amazing.
It is a young audience film, I would even say a children's film, but the tone is not so light. It's a bit dark, it's a bit grim. It's in the music, it's in the dialogue, it's in the camera. And there is a crime story. Sometimes it looks a little bit like a Nordic noir, which is the detective series that were often produced in Sweden and Denmark, and it's all a little bit dark and gloomy. Did you realize it was going to be like that? It's not a fun and happy-go-lucky children's film.
When I read it like first before we started filming, I was thinking it was kind of like a kids film, but now when I saw it, it actually like it showed how it was like very like dark and like it was like there was actual crimes, and it talked about like divorces and like everything, like very interesting.
Still, it's an exciting story. Let's not get that point wrong. It's a super exciting story, but with a little bit of a darker background. And then there is the whole crime scene. It looked also pretty mature. I mean, the first time you see these guys, they look horrible. They wear these masks. Do you know who designed these masks, or where they come from, and or what impression they make? They really are. If I was a little kid, I would be super scared when seeing them on screen.
Yeah, I never saw that scene like before where they had those masks on. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's like this is scary, and like they're making this movie actually like.
Do you know what happened with the dog after the film was shot? He went back to his owner, I suppose. But was he involved in some of the promotion? Did you ever see him again?
Yeah, actually, I saw him, I think, like once or something, because they live in Kuopio, and it's like many hours from my house. So, but we once went there, and then we saw.
And he still recognized you?
Yeah, I think so.
You only arrived yesterday evening in Zlin?
Yeah.
How has it been so far? What have you been doing?
It's been actually amazing, and like, I love it because like the festival is like all around the city, and everywhere I go, I just sing like Zlin Film Festival, and it's been very nice.
And then tomorrow, after your first screening in the festival, it will be the other way around. Everywhere you go, people will say, "Oh, that's the girl with the with the German Shepherd." Do you know something about Zlin? Did they tell you what Zlin is so famous for besides the festival?
No.
Shoes. Because the whole city of Zlin was built for the shoe factory of Thomas Batja. So Batja Shoes is like it's everywhere in Zlin, and that's why everyone who comes to our studio, we ask them to show us their shoes, like put their feet on the table and tell us a story like, why are you wearing these shoes? What's the story behind your shoes, or behind you and shoes in general?
I have 4 sisters, and I'm like the second youngest, so usually all of my shoes come from my big sisters, but these were actually like bought for me. But
you usually have to wear your sister's
old shoes, yeah.
Old shoes. That sounds like you are really happy to come to Zlin and finally have your own shoes.
Yeah. I'm probably buying some new from here.
Good. It feels like a privilege to have you here with your own private shoes, and they look great on you, so please be comfortable. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your stay here in the festival. I hope you'll have a great screening, and I hope the whole town will come to see this amazing film about you and your great hairy friend. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Have a good time, and happy to meet all the people out there in our Zlin bubble.